Is the reign of the Maduro regime finally approaching its expiration date?
When an exiled leader stares down a government known for its iron fist tactics and vows not just to return, but to win the presidency, the entire geopolitical landscape of the Western Hemisphere shifts overnight. Before we continue, if you want to stay on top of everything happening in US politics and the international ripples that affect our national security, hit that subscribe button right now and leave a like. It really helps this channel grow and keeps us focused on bringing you the stories that the mainstream media often ignores. The news broke this past Saturday, sending shockwaves through the corridors of power.
María Corina Machado, the prominent Venezuelan opposition leader, made a declaration that is being framed as a defining moment for her country's future.
Speaking to a gathering of fellow opposition leaders in Panama, Machado didn't just talk about potential policy or diplomatic pressure, she set a definitive timeline. She vowed that she will return to Venezuela before the end of 2026 and that she intends to run for the presidency once again. For those of you who haven't been following the situation closely, let's bring you up to speed. Venezuela has been trapped in a state of political instability and economic decline for over a decade. The current administration, led by Nicolas Maduro, has faced international accusations of electoral fraud, human rights abuses, and the systematic dismantling of democratic institutions. Machado, having been barred from participating in previous elections by a government-controlled judiciary, has become the face of the resistance. Her message in Panama was clear: the opposition remains firmly committed to a democratic transition of power through free and fair elections.
But the million-dollar question remains: how do you guarantee a free and fair process in a country where the playing field is tilted so drastically?
The implications of this move go far beyond the borders of Venezuela.
For the United States, this is a massive foreign policy headache.
Successive administrations have grappled with how to support the Venezuelan people without triggering a regional catastrophe or allowing the influence of hostile powers like Russia, China, and Iran to deepen further in our backyard.
Machado's plan to return is not just a personal risk, it is a direct challenge to the legitimacy of the current regime.
If she successfully enters the country and manages to mobilize her base, we could be looking at a standoff that forces the international community to take a side.
What does this mean for the outcome? There are two schools of thought among political analysts right now. The first suggests that this is a brilliant strategic maneuver.
By announcing a return, Machado is putting the Maduro regime on the defensive, forcing them to decide whether to let her back in, which risks a massive outpouring of public support for her, or to block her and further solidify their status as a pariah state in the eyes of the international community. It forces the regime to react to her agenda rather than setting their own.
The second perspective, however, is much darker.
Skeptics argue that the regime has already shown it is willing to do whatever it takes to stay in power, including the mass detention of dissenters and the suppression of protests.
By announcing her return, is Machado stepping into a trap that could end in her imprisonment? And if she is removed from the equation, who remains to carry the torch of the opposition?
This isn't just a political chess match, it is a life-or-death struggle for the soul of a nation.
We have to consider the role of the global community here as well. If Washington fully backs this return, what does that signal to other regimes in the region that are flirting with authoritarianism? Are we witnessing a resurgence of democratic movements, or a fragile attempt to restore order that could easily fracture?
The timing of this, set for 2026, also aligns with the shifting tides of our own political climate here in the United States, meaning the next president of the US will likely have to navigate this exact crisis in their first term.
So, I want to hear from you. Do you think María Corina Machado's plan to return is a brave step toward true liberation, or is it a mission that is destined to fail given the current power structure in Caracas?
Drop your opinion in the comments below. I read every single one, and I want to know where you stand on this.
The path ahead for Venezuela is anything but certain, and the history books are currently being written.
As we watch these events unfold, one thing is clear: the struggle for liberty is never a straight line, and the courage of individuals like Machado continues to challenge the status quo. We will be tracking this story as it develops, providing you with the analysis and context you need to understand the global implications.
Thank you for watching, and stay tuned.